Hey gang, JC here, and this is the Daily Dose for Monday, February 6, 2012. Combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Clayton. Great television archives. Top of the page, our eye candy feature right below, and our rock and roll poll question from Friday with the Super Bowl yesterday. How much do you really know about football? And a whopping 54% of you said, I know pretty much everything. Well, lottie frickin' da. Another 31% of you say, I know the basics. 9% of you know just enough not to embarrass yourself at a Super Bowl party, and 6% of you admitted that you don't know squat, but you did go to a game once and had seats around the 75-yard line. All right, that's our rock and roll poll from Friday. Today, now that Indianapolis, which is a city that is smaller than St. Louis and has nearly identical climate, now that they've hosted a Super Bowl, how come we haven't? You know, we've had NFL football here, well, obviously 20 years the second time, and a couple of decades before that. And so what's the problem? How come we have never hosted a Super Bowl? Now, you know, when the Dome was brand new, there was a lot of speculation that maybe we would get one. And, you know, you've seen almost, they try to have them in warm weather locations, but there's been one in Detroit, and there's been one in Minneapolis. And so here we are, and now Indianapolis with a smaller population, a smaller city than St. Louis, and climate that is almost exact. So what's the problem? What's the deal? Here's your choices. A, as the NFL has stated, and they have said this on occasion, that St. Louis doesn't have the necessary hotels and other accommodations necessary to handle something like this. That's A. B, our city leaders just don't know how to play the NFL politics game. C, the NFL just plain hates us. Or D, other. And if it's other, we're going to have a problem because I don't know what the other is, but I always give you that option when I can. It is very, very interesting that people argue about polling, you know, in presidential elections or other sorts of situations like that. And now it turns out like polling is, you know, actually pretty accurate. I mean, how many times have you seen the poll and then the election takes place or the caucus or the primary, whatever the case may be, and the numbers are like, you know, a point or two off and that's it. They have the thing practically nailed. And the Vegas line is getting like that yesterday too. I mean, you know, 2.5 New England, that was the spread in the game, and we played a good chunk of that game 2 points away from each other in terms of the Giants and the New England Patriots. Madonna, I don't know, the whole time she was out there, I kept thinking to myself, that's somebody's mother up there. And I think we've finally settled on a description of Madonna's voice. I'm trying to figure this out for a long time. Minnie Mouse on helium. Think about it. It makes sense. Football players, I don't know when this started, by the way, but you see these giant headphones they're wearing now? Not only getting off the bus and in and out of the bus, back and forth to the hotel, but on the field now. They're doing their warm-ups, you know, like before they go into their pads and stuff. And they all have these giant headphones. I don't know when that started. And I don't know the cry after yesterday, because I went to a party that was catered by Annie Guns. And I just walked in and started shouting, "Are you ready for some type 2 diabetes?" And by the way, and Cardinals' first spring training game is 1 month from yesterday. So all is right with the world, I believe. Clint Eastwood appeared in the Super Bowl ad that ran last night during Madonna's halftime show. Based on what I saw, that wrinkly old thing still has it, and Clint Eastwood was good too. Mitt Romney won the Nevada Republican caucuses. Romney credits the victory to his fail-safe strategy of basically not being Newt Gingrich. Europeans are experiencing massive power outages and road closures due to heavy snowfall and freezing temperatures across the continent. It's so cold, Italian men are actually buttoning their shirts all the way to the top. Can you... The much ballyhooed NBC series Smash debuts tonight. It stars American Idol runner-up Katharine McPhee, and it also co-stars Deborah Messing, who, if you have seen her on television, and if you see her on the show tonight, has put on an astonishing amount of weight. Apparently, Will and Grace was replaced by Ben and Jerry. All right, I've got notes and stuff about the commercials last night. You know what I did last night? I didn't pay any attention to any of the commercials, and I enjoyed the evening a lot more. It's too much pressure. It's too much pressure. You got to sit there for 6 hours in a pregame show, and you can't leave that. And then the game starts, and you have to watch that, but then you have to watch the commercials too, and you have to watch the halftime show. I'm sorry. At some point, I have to take a leak. This is too much pressure. I didn't watch any of the commercials. I don't care. And I had a very, very nice evening. Kelly Clarkson, by the way, as predicted here on Friday, did not screw up the Star Spangled Banner. Good for her. What else we got here? By the way, Will Ferrell did an ad for Old Milwaukee Beer last night during the Super Bowl, but it only aired in Nebraska. I need to do a little more research on that to find out what the hell that story was all about. All right, Lance Armstrong having a ball today, literally and figuratively. The doping case against him has been dropped. They've been on him about that. The Voice is a stupid show, and I didn't watch it last night. I've caught little bits and pieces of it. It's dumb, and I'm American Idoled and singing competitioned out. I'm just getting tired of it. By the way, I think I've got something here. I think that they should combine American Idol with The Amazing Race. And then they just yell out, "You're going to Hollywood!" But you got to figure out some way to get there on your own. Now you've got a show. All right, what else we got here? A new study by the University of Chicago. Researchers there have found that it's harder to resist the urge to check Facebook, Twitter, and your email and your cell phone than it is for smokers and drinkers to resist cigarettes and alcohol. Told you. The American obesity epidemic doesn't stop at humans. Our pets are fat. 55% of cats and 53% of dogs are considered overweight. That's 47 million cats and dogs. 47 million cats and 41 million dogs. A list of America's most miserable cities has hit the internet. The Forbes guys are doing this stuff all the time. We got Chicago at number 6, Sacramento at 5, West Palm Beach. Man, you'd think if you were living in West Palm Beach, you'd have it made, but they got all these bad, corrupt politicians down there. And that's one of the ways they rate this. The Forbes people take into consideration a number of factors, including crime, unemployment, taxes, commute times, and how good the local sports teams are and how good your local government is. And apparently they have problems in West Palm Beach. I told you Flint was a pit. It checks in at number 3. I lived there for one summer. Detroit at number 2, and Miami. Their housing market, 47% of homeowners have underwater mortgages. They are number 1. Here are the 10 people who were at every Super Bowl party yesterday. This is according to funnyordie.com, and they have this nailed too, by the way. Number 10, the guy who insisted on high-fiving everyone after every big play. Number 8, the guy who disagreed with whatever the broadcasters said. Number 8, I'm sorry, that was 9, this is 8. 8, the guy who said that his team is just one draft pick away from next year's Super Bowl. Number 7, the person who mainly came there for the food. Number 6, the socially awkward guy who just tried too hard all night. Number 5, oh yeah, the single girl who pretended to love football just so guys would like her. Number 4, the football expert. Number 3, the serious gambler. Number 2, the person who cared more about the ads than the game. And number 1, the person who's way too excited about the halftime show. All right, birthdays today include Tom Brokaw, 72. When did that happen? All of a sudden, he just blinked and Tom Brokaw was a senior citizen. There are 40 days until St. Patrick's Day if you're looking for something to get excited about. And Steven Tyler was up in the owner's box. Robert Kraft, owner of the New England Patriots, and Steven Tyler was there. And they got a shot of him, one of those shots that they take during the game. There were a lot fewer shots of Gisele Bündchen than I thought there were going to be, by the way. But they get the shot of Steven Tyler, but took a picture. And up in the upper right-hand corner, look who's picking his nose. Look who's picking his nose on national TV, on international TV. It's the friggin' Super Bowl. Rush Limbaugh. Hey, pick me a winner, Rush. You can check it out. It's on eye candy right below what we're looking at right now. All right. Rock and roll poll question today. How come we haven't had a Super Bowl? I gave you 3 answers, 3 possible answers, plus an other. Please answer right there in the corner. We have results for you tomorrow. Here, don't forget JC and Trish every day from noon till 3 on the Big 550 KTRS. That is noon until 3. We have Eric Mink on Tuesday. We have our Legal. We do legal stuff with Scott Sherman on Wednesday. Joe Marlotti, professional comedian, on Thursday. And Smash joins us every Friday. So check it out, the Big 550 KTRS, noon until 3 o'clock. In the meantime, that's it. JC's Daily Dose for Monday, February 6, 2012. A combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Clayton. And in the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.